first know. Cause the devil is a lie. Hey. I'm telling you the truth. Hey. It's all in what you do. Hey. Some things you gotta do. Hey, 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 hey. Barbershop Conversations, man. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. So first of all, yeah, join the Patreon, man. We over there getting guap. We getting bread. We getting El Pan. And I just watched Errol Spence do an interview with Ray Forrest. Wow. Ray, that shit was fun to watch, man. It was about 40 minutes long. I'm pretty sure people gonna pull it and put it on their social media. So look out for that. I think you got 24 hours to watch it on the Premier Boxing Instagram site. I'm not sure if it's on Earl's, and it should be on Errol Spence Live as well. I thought it was a phenomenal interview. I liked it, Ray, that shit was dope. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna say they took my advice, but they took my advice because people from PBC actually called me last week and was like, Fred, that's a good idea. We need to start doing. I don't know if they had this in the works prior to that conversation, but they called me and said, that's a good idea. We need to start showcasing our talent and owning our content. So hopefully they do that more consistently because I don't mind paying. Listen, I'm the type of guy that don't mind paying for entertainment. You understand what I'm saying? So, so yeah, man, I just, yeah, so I'm happy, by the way. So I'll break down it overall, but I'm just gonna highlight some things to encourage you guys to go watch it and then come back. We may go live about it tonight on the live. Obviously, we'll talk about that. But he talked about first of all, happy birthday to his grandmother. His grandmother's 96 years old, and she's in New York. So obviously, you want to send prayers to his family and all parties involved as it relates to his family and everybody's family. I have a lot of family in New York as well. So hopefully everybody comes out of this epidemic as they came into it, So he talked about the Terrence Crawford. I'm not going to hold y'all. He said that fight will happen. He have had multiple conversations with Al Heyman as it relates to that topic, and that fight will happen. He's not interested in looking at Keith Thurman. He's interested in Manny Pacquiao. He's looking forward to Danny Garcia. The way that conversation went, looked like Danny Garcia is next. As I told you guys, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia, Manny Pacquiao. I told you guys that 2 months ago. And so that, and then we had he talked about rematching Sean Porter. He says real trill dudes, the other guys was Sean Porter talks out the side of his mouth, and he wouldn't fight Sean Porter the same way he fought the first time. We talked about the struggles of making weight against Mikey Garcia and against Sean Porter. Talked about his car accident. And I like when and first of all, I appreciate Ray for having the courage to ask the question. I appreciate Errol having the audacity to be vulnerable, He talked about how it was eye-opening. I believe Kennedy was playing with me at this point, but I think I caught when he said he didn't have things in place as it relates for his kids prior to the accident. And obviously he probably now has a living trust, a will, and things like that to take care of his kids. And yeah, man. So what else? And it was a real warm interview. PBC fighters need to do warm interviews before they go fight week, and they got to deal with motherfuckers like me, like sharks and shit. You know what I mean? Get everything out there. Own the content. Lead the way with your content, PBC. You've been getting away with it for 5 years now. You know what I mean? And now it's time for you to own your content. I don't mind paying for it. I'm not the guy that says, man, I want it first. Nah, my voice is big enough now. If I do a review on anything, it's going to have the weight that it's supposed to have. So, so kudos to PBC. I'm not in the line begging to be first. I think reviews are as important as actually getting the interview, So, but I'm looking forward to this series. I think it's going to be a weekly series with Ray Flores. I felt like it was, and I can't wait till next week. Ray Flores did a hell of a job leading that interview. Errol Spence did a hell of a job doing the interview, And I'll say this: there's a huge difference between Fox employees and PBC employees. There's a huge difference. There's a huge difference in terms of the empathy level and the sympathy levels and the caring. It's like Christina Ponder for Top Rank, how she genuinely cares about the people that she's interviewing. You know what I mean? And have their well being. You got to do those interviews. You can't go into the lion's den with YouTubers. And I mean, YouTuber is not just YouTube, they're real journalism now, whether they're terrible or good. That's the wave now. Fuck print. Print is like print is like like a beeper. I mean, like a pager. I'm like a typewriter. Like who the fuck types now? You know what I mean? So it's the podcast generation. So I enjoyed it, Earl. I'm gonna break it down piece by piece. Look, I ain't got nothing but time. You know what I mean? I'm not going to the units today. So it's raining here in LA, and I don't can't really do much in the rain, So I'm gonna rewatch that interview and break it down. I'll probably do 2 or 3 interviews. I mean 2 or 3 reviews on it. But yeah, go check it out. I'm pretty sure every YouTube channel is gonna respond to it because that was definitely Earl's longest interview he's done in a long while, And so good interview, very good interview, Ray. Super interview, dude. That was dope. And um, I sensed that there was very like they knew each other, you know, with the respect of each other's with they knew each other with the respect of everyone's job in that. He was the interviewer and he was the interviewee, and Earl gave us much more than what he had to. He didn't have to say he was 190 pounds. He didn't have to say he didn't have a paperwork set up in place for his kids. Um, he didn't have to say Top Rank offered him more money than PBC. One would assume that um, PBC offered more money, but when in actuality, PBC did offer more money because when you look at the trajectory of Terrence Crawford's career versus Errol Spence's career, they offered more money. But to a young kid, if I give you $1 million now versus I give you $100,000 every 2 months for the rest of your life, you think the $1 million is worth more. So he talked about he went to a clinic in Cleveland after the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight. About he's clear and ready to go. He talked about YouTube, about he watches YouTube boxing and media and reads the comments and stuff like that. I think that's healthy for boxers to do that and not get caught up in their motherfucking two friend circle. You know what I mean? I think it's healthy for fighters to be realistic. That's what else? What else? What else? What movies they're watching. Um, he hasn't personally been affected by the coronavirus as of not gonna say as of yet. He just hasn't been affected by it. Um, um, yeah, man, it was a fun, warm interview. Ray, that was dope, Ray. I'm fucking with your shit, and I got to follow you on Instagram. So, but yeah, man, go subscribe to Ray Flores Instagram. I thought it was a hell of an interview. I'm actually going to rewatch it and break it down piece by piece and get some audio clips, and then we're gonna go from there. So um, that's it. So, anyways, barbershop conversations. Go watch the interview. Happy birthday, Grandma Spence. She's 96 years old. Um, all of one of Dre's grandparents actually made it to 100. So no, yeah, 2 did and 2 didn't, and we lost 2 last year. So I'm rooting for Earl, for your grandma to get that letter from the president. It's pretty cool. One got a letter from Trump and one got a letter from Obama. We was hoping and praying because it was um the year it was her birthday was December of 19, and we was like, man, we hope that one, that she makes it, and two, it's not from Trump. But it actually was like a month before Trump got sworn in, so it was pretty dope. So, anyways, man, barbershop conversations. Go watch the interview; you'll thoroughly enjoy it, and don't forget to join my Patreon. And and the biggest consensus of the car accident woke Earl up, didn't take things for granted. I follow him on Instagram, very family oriented, young man's life as he should. um, daughters, and you know, and he has a lot of integrity though. Like I sense a lot of integrity from Earl. Um, and he's appreciated on my end. Obviously, the poster and shit, and Armstrong, I wouldn't have him up here if I didn't have a level of respect for him. And I have a great respect for his dad. So I told you guys the story before, but I was going to record dad. His dad said, "I didn't give you permission to cut the camera on." Yes, Mr. Spence, I apologize. I immediately deleted that shit. I respect men for being men. You know what I mean? I'm already little, so I don't mind people making me a little bit smaller. So, anyways, man, barbershop conversations. Go check out Ray Flores. It's a hell of an interview, dog. PBC, good job. Own your content. Own your content. I'm saying this. Own your fucking content. All right. Don't let these gorillas out here like me. I'm calling myself included. All these medias dictate content. You dictate content. Okay. Dictate content. Barbershop conversations. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.